Good afternoon. We're here at Bonatron today. I'm a technician here. We're going to show y'all, give you a good demonstration how to use the portable cap tester. For starters, when you can open it up, you will see an AC cord, which you already have plugged in, and you will see a set of banana cables, and they're labeled a red and black trace for hooking up positive and negative. First thing you want to do is turn your power on. You turn your power on, you will see a display comes up with your main menus. Next, you take your banana plugs. You want to hook them up, absorb the polarity. Now you want to hook them up to your drive or to your caps. For this testing purpose here, we are using some caps. Again, absorb the polarity. Positive, negative. Alright, now we're going to the main menu. Now in your main menu you have 4 different categories. The first one, charging profile, refers to when you have a drive that's been sitting around for many years and you want to make sure it's safe, so you have a variety, you have more settings in it. Your next one, the charge capacitor, that's if you have a set of capacitors that's been sitting around maybe a year or so. There's no need to go through the lengthy charging profile. The third setting is if you have some caps that are already charged up and you want to discharge them. And then of course you have your previous results, which will tell you whenever you discharge this, it will give you a reading on how much capacitance is in your cap bank. So now we're going to demonstrate starting off with your charging profile. First thing, you want to set a final voltage. Now for this right here, you need to know what you're hooking up to. If you have an L class drive, that is a 230 volt AC. So you need to make sure you run this up to 340 volts DC. If you have an E class, it's a 380 volt AC, run it up to around roughly 540 volts DC. An H class, which is what this cap bank represents, you want to run it up to 640 volts DC. So now we're going to start the charging profile. We're going to go to set final voltage. For this is an H class, we're going to set it for 640 volts. There's no need to hit enter. Afterwards, just hit the left arrow to get back. Now we're going to go to the step voltages. Now at this point is yet again, this goes back to if you have a drive that's been sitting around for a good amount of time. You don't want to just straight up charge it. You want to let the charge up to a certain point, let it hold for a minute, then continue. So we are going to set this up to where every 100 volts it pauses. So we're going to go to the setup step voltage. We're going to set this up 100 volts. Go back. Now we're going to set the charging current. We are going to set this up at a low charging current because we have a very small cap bank. If you have a very large cap bank, you may want to increase the charging current. For this example, we're going to do 300 milliamps. Now the step right here goes along with the step voltage. Whenever we telling it right now, every 100 volts, that's where you want to pause. This right here is going to tell you the length of the time you want to pause. So we're going to set up right here. We're going to let it pause for 5 seconds. Now set final holding time. That's at a point you want to charge up the caps and let it sit there charged up. For this example, we're going to do 10 seconds, which is already set for 10 seconds. Now, at the very least, start charging. It's going to ask you to confirm whether you want the charge or not. If you are ready, click yes. And for this, we're going to go and click yes. And then once it happens, you will see it start slowly charging. And you see it pauses. When it hits 100 volts, it counts down for 5 seconds and it goes another step. And it'll repeat this process until it hits the final set voltage, which is 640 volts. Now, once it gets to this point, it is going to do the holding time. And after it does a holding time, this is automatically going to discharge the cap bank. And it will display the amount of capacitance I have within my cap bank. Now it's going to hold it, and it's going to discharge it. And there it displayed how much capacitance I have, which is correct. Now that is the charging profile setting. If you going back to the cap charging, this one is a lot less complicated. Same procedure except less steps. You set your final voltage, your charging current, and you want to tell it to start charging or not. So for this, we would do the same thing. We'll keep it at 640 volts. Charging current, we're going to keep it at 300 milliamps. And yes, we want to start charging. And yet again, you have to tell it yes or no. Hit yes, and it's going to repeat it. Except this time there is no holding. We told it just to ramp up at the charging current. And then as you can see, it discharged it. Now, last but not least is the discharge capacitor. This, you click it, it asks you yes or no. You click yes, and it will discharge the remaining voltage there, and it will display the amount of capacitance left.